Pax8 Beyond 2025. What an event. Third year they've had it. I've had the great pleasure of being there for all three. This one was the biggest. It was over 3,400 total attendees, 2,400 partner registrations, like over 40 breakouts and over 40 education sessions. It was, the entertainment was fantastic. Snoop Dogg came out and performed. It was a really, really great event. Podcast was there, of course. We had a whole podcasters row. I think there was 10 of us. It was fantastic. It was done very, very well. I was able to, me and my team, we conducted 24 interviews, had 24 great conversations there in Denver. Kathleen Lord, lessons from the saddle, grit, growth, and tech insight. Great conversation with Kathleen. Aaron Pederick, yes, coaching cybersecurity and real life comebacks. Fascinating story Aaron has. Shlomi, of course, I've known Shlomi Jan for a little while now. Really, really insightful. Really like talking to Shlomi. Kim Simmons, my goodness, what such energy, such life. I hope to be working more with her and her team. They were gracious enough to invite me to a dinner. It was they've got a great product, smarter. The name of the episode is Creativity Meets Contracts. Colin Britton, of course, Formula One to Intune. Great partner there. Colin, great conversation with Intune with his great platform. Marco LaVecchia, data, purpose, and the MSP playbook. Great conversation with Marco. Rex Frank, my old friend. I've known Rex for, 15, 20 years. He's there at Pax8. Really knowledgeable. Learned some things about him I didn't know during our conversation. Oh my goodness, Lorna Berman. What a delight. What an absolute delight to talk to Lorna and her team riding Malibu and running MSP ops. She's got a horse named Malibu, but great insight, great platform they had there too. Tom Harshbarger. My goodness, I've known Tom since he was at Microsoft about 20 years. Now he's with this great firm, Metallica, misconfigs and mindset. We talk a lot about that. Great conversation with Tom. Lewis, of course, Begdanis from Uvilla. Great conversation. I start off with cooking. I like to cook, and he does too. Meatball Mindset and MSP projects. Darren Swan, great conversation with Darren. I've known Darren for a little while now. Enjoyed talking to him. Opened the conversation with Vinyl, Espresso, and Cyber Trust. Pinar, yes, I love speaking with Pinar. Pickleball, Possums and Proactive Security. Great conversation with Pinar, CEO of that great firm. Tanya, of course, got to know Tanya. We had a great conversation on the phone before we met there and had the conversation in Denver. Tanya Alfonso from Kitchen to Cybersecurity. Damo, I love talking to Damo, of course, from Super Ops. Barbells and AI for MSPs. Great conversation with Demo. Charlie Tomio. I've known Charlie for 15, 20 years now. Great talking. We talk about, phishing and MSP automation, the great Roost platform. Ryan Etteridge, Black Belts and CyberSec. Great conversation with Ryan. Fascinating insight. The martial arts plays on people's lives. Joe Saunders, cigars, securities, and self-reflection. Great conversation with Joe. Rob Ray, been in the community for, I've known him since he was even before Dado, fellow Connecticut resident. Great talking to Rob. He's doing great things there as vice president there at Pax8. Drew Schlessel, of course, great talking about their Wasabi platform. We actually became a partner as well. The platform is so good. Chance Weaver, AI adoption. He's there at Pax8 talking about his great story and how he got there, but he's working on AI adoption at Pax8. Christopher Marquez. I've had the good pleasure of knowing Christopher for a little while now. We talk about chili, coaching, and cyber threats. Really great insight from Christopher. Chris Day, been in the, my goodness, I've known him since, from IT Glue all the way where he is now at ScalePad. Been in the system for a long, been in the channel, the community for a long time. Gene Kim, surfboard, security, and staying operational. Enjoyed talking to Gene. I had the chance to meet him at Secure, ConnectWise Secure. And lastly, Ken Tripp, Microsoft Copilot and Compliance. Great conversations there at Pax8 Beyond 2025. Incredible event. Can't wait to see what they come up with next. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because I was working way too much. Before you know it, I found myself 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. Took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People think there's some secret. Ask me, how'd you lose that weight? Like there's some secret. There is no secret. How'd I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends, colleagues convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others. You're the first person I've talked to this week who's officially a chef with a certificate.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's a pastime that I have.
Because you had some doubts about technology, you did this at night.
It's because I grew up. My mom was a cook. Not a professional cook, but, you grew up with that.
Yes.
So it becomes part of your DNA. And I loved it. And I was in IT in IBM, and I thought, maybe this is what I meant to do until I went to school for it. And then I just realized I loved it. Stick to tech.
Is that right? Yeah. And you spend the first X amount of time just chopping vegetables, right? And they teach you how to...
That's a good point. So you go through all the steps of chef school, every module. There's like all these different modules. But knife skills they stay throughout.
They do.
You do knife skills throughout. Sharpening the knives, you carry them with you everywhere.
Wow.
I still use the same knife, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just used to it.
In this fast-paced MSP landscape, how do you stay ahead? Introducing MSPinfluencer.com, your ultimate hub for MSP news, insights, and community connection, powered by Forza Dash. More than 75,000 MSPs subscribe to our MSP Influencer Pulse weekly newsletter, staying informed and ahead of industry trends. Tune in to emerging podcasts from Joey Pinz and leading MSP voices, offering essential tips, powerful insights, and success stories. Explore our multi-authored blogs, crafted specifically for MSP leaders, delivering fresh perspectives and actionable strategies. Celebrate excellence with the industry-leading Forza Dash MSP Influencer Awards, recognizing innovation, leadership, and impact in the MSP community. Join thousands of MSP professionals who trust MSPinfluencer.com to grow their business and expand their networks. MSPinfluencer.com, where today's MSP leaders connect, collaborate, and conquer, all powered by the Forza Dash platform, helping MSP vendors work effectively with MSPs and helping MSPs grow. I got to get better knives and get better at that. I remember David Chang, one of my favorite cooks, celebrity cooks, Mamafuku. He spent like a whole, he has a bunch of episodes on, I think, Hulu, but like a couple episodes just on the egg.
Yes.
And how to cook it and the temperatures on the
hard.
outside and the inside.
It's hard. I still mess up an omelet.
Do you
It's
really?
hard. You get the right pan.
Yes, the heat, the salt you add
Seasoning.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, though. You still cook now?
Always. Yeah, always.
'Cause
Treat the kitchen like a
industrial chef. Industrial kitchen.
It's like an industrial kitchen.
No clutter?
No, well, actually, here's an interesting fact. I clean my entire fridge out every Saturday. People think it's
Really?
crazy. They're like, how do you do this? Because if it's never overloaded, it's easy to clean out. It takes 10 minutes to do, but I clean it out. I empty the whole thing, clean it all out every Saturday.
You empty the contents,
Clean
it.
every shelf every single Saturday. Wow. I know. Some might say it's a little OCD. I just think it's being organized.
And then you see expiration on vegetables and things like that.
Done. They're out. Yeah, the pantry gets cleaned. Everything gets organized on a regular basis.
Is this something on your calendar?
It's something that
Right
just
there.
sticks.
Wow. Are you a creature of habit?
Big time. Yeah, big time.
Even when you travel?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And most things that you do? Are you?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think everyone who knows me, as much as I'm like, oh, they would say, no, you are.
Is that right?
Like, yeah, it's just, some people are very on demand, go with the flow.
Yes.
I wish sometimes that was more me. I'd say I'm more in the moment. If the plan is to be in the moment, let's be in the moment.
there.
Let's have fun in the moment, right? But otherwise, it's like, where's the schedule? Let's get it going. Yeah.
Cooking.
Still have fun, but
Of course, yeah, it seems it. But see, cooking seems to be a decent amount of art versus science. But I get more science than art from you. Am I wrong on that?
it is art. You're right. It is art. It becomes more science when you move into baking because there you're dealing with chemistry.
Yes.
And I bake too, but it depends on what you're baking. If you're dealing with doughs and cake and bread, you do have to, let dough rise, and you do have to make sure cooking temperatures are right. But there is also art to it. My sister-in-law loves cooking. I write recipes for her of things I make. So I just put it together and say, because she likes the structure of a recipe.
Wow.
And then, people say, so here's one thing in cooking school. You say, how long do you cook it for? And the chef says, till it's done.
Till it's done.
Always, right? So that's an art. You have to test it. You have to keep checking it. Sauces, probably one of my favorite things to make, like the saucier. That's art to your taste buds.
Yes.
Add more salt, add more butter, add more cream, add more whatever you want to add, And so it's about taking the techniques and then bringing art to it with what you like to do. Yeah.
Here's what happens, Tanya, is that I end up cooking something and I don't remember how much I put in it or what I put in it sometimes. What's in season and, I think it needs this. Oh, I haven't used this spice in a while. Let's try it. This is really good. What's in it? I said, I don't know if I could ever reproduce this. I don't.
I know. Yeah. And you like cooking too.
I love cooking.
Yeah. And it depends on style because some are a little more, let's say, forgiving than others, right? You start playing with spice.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
But you just have to make, I guess, estimations on that. Yeah.
Right.
After time, I don't know if you have this, but I find I don't use measuring cups. It's like a long time, unless I'm in baking.
You're right.
And it's amazing if you were to take what you put in thinking it was a half cup, enough repeated motions, it's going to be accurate.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool how that happened.
And
a tablespoon, you could just tell.
You could just tell. I say, this doesn't call for a whole onion. I hate saving a half onion, but it doesn't call for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, Tanya. I walk into that kitchen and it's relatively clutter-free, and I start pulling ingredients out and I start cooking and I start feeding people. Always clean as you go, and
Yes.
when it's done, we have great conversation. When it's done, I put everything away and I get to walk away the way it came in. There's nowhere in my professional life that I get to see a project from beginning to end like that. I'm constantly delegating things and, waiting for time. And it's just also just a sense of accomplishment. Just completing something like that is wonderful.
Yes, it is.
It's very rewarding.
It also is rewarding when you can delegate and people get involved because they become part of the project.
That's nice too. Cut this carrot. Yeah.
But you have to be organized enough.
Yes.
Yeah. One of, I guess, my things I'm known for, like our kitchen is a big island. And I always stand, no matter even what's going on in my kitchen, I'm always standing in front of the stove facing the counter as if I'm on a cooking show. And everybody's at the bar and they're like my cooking show.
Same here.
It's just what happened. Everything's But when people are there and, you're all talking, sometimes it's like, do this, do that. And they like being busy. They like participating.
That is nice.
But you have to just be the conductor. And if you can pull that off, then everybody's happy and they all have a part of it.
Yeah. And there's certain points you say, well, why are you rushing? Because they don't realize I'm staring at the clock and I know how long that's been on and I'm starting to see it and I'm starting to smell it and this needs to move and, so
it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is the thing I love most about it, which you're getting to. I love doing things where you can't think of anything else. Like the focus has to be there, right? So your mind can't be scattered. You'll burn something. You'll burn yourself.
That's right. You'll
Unfortunately.
burn yourself, yeah.
But your mind can't be scattered. When you're cutting, you don't want to cut yourself. You
That's
just focus on the cutting. Then you don't want to focus on burning something, So I like that you have to be really in the moment.
made a carbonara recently, and if those eggs go too long, you'll end up a freaking omelet in that pasta.
Curdled eggs.
Yeah, it's curdled. So it's timing, and you've got to introduce it at the right time, and then pancetta's got to be where it is, and then people are like, wait, what's happening? Say, wait.
Yeah, you're
I'll be with you in a moment.
I actually yell in the kitchen like, I need hands, because you need hands for carbonara.
That's right, for carbonara.
You need an assistant to pour in the pasta sauce.
That's right, and the water and yeah. Tanya, we're here at Pax8 Beyond 2025, great event. What are some of your goals this week?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've accomplished a lot of the goals.
Already?
It has been a fantastic week. Really, it's my first time at Pax8. Not only it's our inaugural sponsorship. We are going to be on the marketplace as soon as we get written into the marketplace, which I estimate to be end of July, end of August.
Good.
Yeah, we're a signed partner in the cybersecurity space. I'm just so excited. I've been to a lot of MSP shows, and I have to say this one, I'm biased. It's
great.
The best.
It is great. Yeah, it's grown so much.
It has, yeah, I've heard that, and I heard it's just going to grow more next year. Apparently, we're outgrowing this place, which is awesome. But we are in the cybersecurity space, and so for us in the MSP market, we have, I would say, almost a niche, right? Actually, just walking out of the keynote, maybe not so niche anymore because vulnerabilities are a huge issue. So I think it's going to become more mainstream, which is exciting. We're here for that ride. But yeah, so we're in the cybersecurity space, and because Pax8 does have a practice around that, we really lend to the portfolio what they're doing. So I've loved it. The conversations have been meaningful. I mean, we've had, it's 10-minute discussions at our booth. It's not like a pass by, hey, what do you do? It's like, let's talk about my business problem. Let's talk about what your customer set is. Yeah, it's been really, really fantastic.
What's your experience with MSPs, Tanya?
Well, I started my whole career in channel. Yeah, started at IBM. Then I went to Lenovo, and stayed in tech. I have a real bias toward the channel. I love the channel, so I worked on the reseller side, and then in selling with MSPs. Prior to joining Vicarius, I was CRO at a DDoS protection company, and we sold through service providers. And so, yeah, it's a lifeline of the business.
Sure is. So when MSPs are looking for a security partner, what questions should they be asking prospective vendors?
What they should be asking, that's a good question, they should be asking how they can help them within their, solve the problems for their clients. That's the main one, right? So they should be asking their vendors, how can you help me solve the problem for my client? Here's the problems that I'm having. This is the client set that I focus on. I want to grow my business, right? So it's like aligning the goals together. That's the main one, aligning goals.
Important.
Yes. Yeah. And I think the pillars, I see the colors behind you actually. So the pillars of Pax8 fit so well with what we offer because the pillars are, risk reduction, and then efficiency, and then growing your business. So risk reduction on the security side, growing your business. This is MSPs who, and I know I haven't even said what we do yet. This is a spoil. This is a
please,
a sneak peek.
Please.
But
hey, Joey Pinz here. Want to take your podcast experience to the next level? I'm excited to invite you to become a YouTube member. It's the absolute best way to support the channel and enhance your connection. Join our amazing community and unlock the incredible perks, custom loyalty badges, exclusive emojis, and priority comment replies. Your voice will always stand out. Be the first to watch new videos with early access, receive special membership shoutouts, and get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and updates. Dive into content available only to our members, special videos, deep dives, and insider perspectives. Engage directly with me. Suggest podcast topics you want to hear, and even get personalized video shoutouts. Hit the join button right now and become part of something special. Let's build this amazing community together. I can't wait to welcome you as a new member. Join the Joey Pinz family today.
Risk reduction, we're in cybersecurity, and then we help MSPs grow their business because what I see too is a trend of, I have a client set, it's been all word of mouth, which is, by the way, fantastic that people grow their business, no marketing, all word of mouth. But if they do want to grow their business, we can help them do that by going after a new customer set or bringing in the technology to their existing customers. But from break fix, it's like a bit of a lift, right, to get customers that are honoring break fix.
It sure is.
And then you get into the efficiency piece, which is I am already doing this cybersecurity solution for clients, but I put a lot of people on it. And MSPs are managing this trifecta of people, process, technology to get to the margins that they need. And so what we can do is create efficiencies with the tools and the process.
So specifically, how does Vicarius help MSPs?
We specifically help vulnerability management, but I'll go one step further and I'll say vulnerability remediation. Had a coffee this morning with someone and I brought that up and he says, oh, so you fix problems. So I was like, exactly. And the remediation. It is too common and every solution out there will say, we're going to help you pinpoint. We're going to scan. We're going to help you pinpoint the problem. And we're going to tell you what you need to do to fix it. Sometimes MSPs take on that job, which is big. That's where they have the people. Sometimes MSPs will say, and we've heard this throughout the week, they will also pass that on to their clients. So the clients have to then hold that bag and fix the problem. So then it gets to the IT staff, no bandwidth, limited, talent on the team, just bandwidth and so forth. So that's what we do. We do the end-to-end vulnerability remediation. We scan, we prioritize, and then we also remediate. And there's an interesting thing on the remediation because it's not just patching. Patching is, of course, available. Customers do it every, Patch Tuesday, and they're used to that. But the patching piece is one of three ways that you can remediate. Patchless protection is our founded technology of our company, which is what you do when there is no patch. And by the way, next year, Gartner's saying that over 50% of the landscape won't have a patch. It's the biggest vulnerability that will be out there. So what do you do then? And then the other is scripting, which you can also do. So legacy systems in manufacturing industry, primarily configuration changes, you'd need to have something other than just a regular patch.
So I'm a former MSP, Tanya. I get to talk to MSPs all the time. So the last 5 or 6 years have been pretty consistent as to what keeps them up at night. Three things. One is security. They're worried about their clients getting attacked. Now they've got to allocate all these resources because they're flat rate. They're probably going to get fired, maybe even sued. I'm worried about that. Two is human capital. If their big techs leave, how are they going to replace them? How are they going to get more technicians that are qualified? And three is just general growth. They're usually tech-led. They're not really good at some of the softer skills of sales and marketing. How are they going to grow? PE has poured hundreds of millions of dollars. Their friends are selling their MSPs, having nice cars. How are we going to grow? Seems that Vicarius solves for all three.
Yeah. Combined with Pax8, I will say, actually, because we definitely help grow, like I had just said, when it comes to this is something new. Security is huge.
Yes.
I mean, especially now you've got the link with insurance, cybersecurity insurance.
Right.
And there's more strict measures that are coming on. Especially MSPs that cover highly regulated industries is huge. So security is huge. We absolutely address that problem head on. The growth, what we're bringing is something new to the MSP portfolio. And it's a little bit pushing the envelope, I will say.
Really?
Because again, it's like we can patch, we can bring in something, maybe we have an RMM that patches, but it's not going to do the same job that we will do. We're like getting into the Mercedes-Benz of the offerings when it comes to vulnerability management. And what was the third one again?
Human capital.
Oh my gosh, okay, this is a huge one. So human capital, there is going to be estimated in 2026, by 2026, and this has been growing, about 5 million cybersecurity jobs open.
Wow.
That there is no talent.
Wow.
So there's such a talent shortage, and that's a huge problem. That's why many companies are turning to MSPs, and that's why MSPs need the help of the solutions.
A great tool set. Tanya, has there been anything in the last month or so you changed your mind on?
That's very interesting. And I was thinking about this, actually, knowing we'd be meeting today, and discipline. You do have to change your course sometimes. So if I think about it from a business standpoint, change my mind on personal things all the time. On a business standpoint, we have to stay the course. There are some times that you take the input and you do have to change. Are we going to be investing in this? Are we going to be investing in that? So there's probably small tweaks we've made, but our strategy has more or less remained very consistent. We set off the year with a dual strategy, go-to-market motions, MSP focus, and then we also have an enterprise motion. And so we've been consistent in delivery of that. Probably some small things along the way about like what makes up that strategy, but more or less nothing major, I don't think.
And it's interesting when you have to make a pivot like that. You mentioned routine. You like it. It's there. It's set. But there always needs to be room for pivot and changing mind in case something comes up, given new evidence.
Yes. And when you do that, though, and you are someone who follows, a protocol or a creature of habit, it has to be with reason.
Yeah, plenty of evidence to back it.
Not with whim.
Yes.
So, and it's hard, because like discipline, for example, it's doing the hard stuff sometimes and doing it even though there's no immediate outcome. You have to just look for the little victories along the way and know that you're on that right path, I think you were on a journey like that actually for some time.
So we talked about it when we talked. So I lost a bunch of weight, the doctor said if I don't lose it, I was 340 pounds and just terrible. Younger too, in your 20s, you don't know. And I lost about 120 pounds, kept it off. And you mentioned discipline. So specifically, do you consider yourself a disciplined person?
Yeah, I'm pretty disciplined.
How?
It's just that I just stay the course on things, you know how you mentioned earlier of the cooking, seeing things through. Big proponent of seeing things through. There's not a lot that stops at 50, 80%,
right.
So, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's like I can sit at my desk for hours in a day and it's like, oh my God, get up and walk,
Move around
You've been here too long.
Yeah.
Because the focus just, but yeah, disciplined person, creature of habit. Up in the morning, got up this morning, I worked out.
Yes,
so it's like a 5:30 wake up every day.
Wow.
And I think eventually what was something that you wanted to do just becomes the habit that you're doing. And you like it, so you keep it up.
What motivates you, Tanya?
My family, just getting that time, being part of the mission. I love the path that we're on at Vicarius and the people. People motivate me.
Yeah.
They really do. When people around you are energized and you all have a common goal, then it's really motivating to be a part of something like that.
So given your legacy, impact, it would seem, with people, given those motivators, how do you measure success?
You have to, I hate to say this because it's the first thing in sales that it's like, don't do it on that, but you have to have goals in place, right? And some people are measuring success for you with those goals.
Right.
And so that is, I guess, like a inflicted measurement of success. So on a professional level, we do set goals for ourselves and we measure success that way. But I also measure it with the path that leads up to it. It can't just be the outcomes, because I have a saying: if you do the right thing, I have many sayings, but they're not my sayings, of course. If you do the right things, the rest will follow.
Yeah.
And so it's all about the behaviors that lead to these positive outcomes. The outcomes, though, like I was saying, they're not always immediate. So how do you know you're on the right track? How do you know success is there? I mean, it's the same thing of VC firms looking at companies. What's the unit economics? Are we on the right track, right? What's the leading indicators to get to the renewal rates that we want to get to? Let's not find out in a year's time that we're not going to get that renewal rate and have higher churn. All these kinds of things. So success is very analytically the results, but then also the KPIs, these leading indicators to the results. Success, more on a personal level, is just happiness. Am I happy with what I'm doing every day? Do I like it? Am I energized to get up in the morning? Is my family happy?
Want to show your love for discipline, inspiration, and the Joey Pinz podcast? Now's your chance. Introducing the brand new Joey Pinz merch store, where style meets discipline. Choose from premium apparel, cozy hoodies, stylish hats, durable bags, and your new favorite coffee mug, all featuring the iconic Joey Pinz logo. Perfect for podcast fans, discipline enthusiasts, or as unique gifts for friends and family. Every purchase supports the Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations podcast, helping us continue to inspire greatness and promote positive change. Visit joeypinz.com/store today and wear your discipline proudly. Joey Pinz merch. Wear it, share it, and live it.
I think that's I'm winning if I'm getting that.
Yeah, that's very rewarding.
Yeah.
I know you made a big move from Montreal over to the West Coast.
Seems like so long ago now.
It does, yeah. But it's a big shift, but you like it though.
I do. It couldn't be more different. I'm a city gal, living in the city.
That's right, you said that.
Then I moved to the mountains. Couldn't be more different. But I love it, and it's really kind of best of both. And I spend the summers, and we get to live in California. And then the kids get out of school. I have 2 daughters, 11 years old. They get out of school, and when school is done, we leave and go back to Montreal for the summer.
Very nice.
So that's one of the benefits too. Working in sales and that kind of thing, and actually the team being over in Israel and Europe and global, it's like, okay, just show up, just be available, and you can kind of have that freedom. So it's a nice work-life balance.
Very nice. So your message to MSPs this week is, Tanya?
We're here to help. We're here to help for sure. That's one main message. I would say that's probably the main. If they're looking to solve challenges around cybersecurity, they want to grow their business, looking for efficiencies, if this is something on their mind, we're certainly here to help.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for your time today, Tanya. Anybody wants to reach you, how can they do so?
LinkedIn's a really good way to reach me. And I'm easy email, tanya@vicarius.io. It's another easy way to reach me. Yeah.
And Vicarius, Vicarius.io.
Yes.
And your last name, Tanya Alfonso.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Really
Thanks
appreciate
a lot,
it.
Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with 1 or 2 of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypinz.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.